Hey there, everyone. Ed Server here. Hey, so today we are talking about prioritizing project ideas. By the way, if you want to copy, I'm going to go through this couple of worksheets I have. If you want to copy those worksheets, go ahead and comment the word solution below. I'll get you a copy of the worksheets, no problem. If you happen to be watching this on my website, there should be just a download button below that you can click on it and go ahead and get a copy of that. So, all right. So prioritizing project ideas. So when you are problem solving with your team, and the team, part of the process is you're going to come up with a bunch of great ideas, right? You're going to brainstorm, hopefully, dozens, if not maybe more, great ideas that you want to potentially implement in order to solve the problem that you're trying to solve. And what sometimes can happen, right, is when you come up with all these ideas, there might be some wasted time and effort, right? That's sort of a frustration that teams have, is they come up with all these ideas and some ideas get implemented and you feel like you and the team are wasting time. So we don't want to do that, right? The other thing is that when we're working as a team and we come up with a bunch of ideas, sometimes the ideas become very personal, right? So some people have ideas that they take ownership of, right? And so what we don't want to do is we don't want to hurt people's feelings, right? People's feelings get hurt when they feel like their project idea does not get implemented. So we don't want to do that, right? And the other thing is, again, we want to implement solutions that are going to get rid of or reduce the problem that we are trying to solve, right? So those are kind of the three things that we want to, avoid, right, when we're going through this process of identifying which projects we want to work on, right? So again, what we want, right, is we want to have quicker problem elimination. We want to make sure that the ideas that we brainstorm as a team, we want to make sure that we choose the right ones and that we're using our resources effectively so that we can get rid of those problems quickly. The other thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that we have the team focused and working together, right? We don't want people kind of running off on a tangent, with a great idea and sort of doing whatever it is they think they should be doing in order to solve the problem. We want to make sure that the team is focused and everyone's working together and organized, right? And kind of the last thing here, what we want right out of this process is we want to increase teamwork and happiness. We want people to actually enjoy the process of problem solving and not take things personal, right? We want to make sure that all these great ideas that get thrown out onto the table, the right ones get implemented and no one's feelings are hurt, right, when we go ahead and implement particular solutions. So increase teamwork and happiness, that's what we want. And so in order to get all of these things, right, in order to have a good problem solving activity, and specifically when it comes to prioritizing the project ideas and working on the right projects that will go ahead and eliminate the problem, there's three things. So the first thing is we want to make sure that the idea sorting, that when you're sorting through the solutions, they are objective, right? Not subjective. So objective, using data, using information to help drive our decisions. The second thing is we want to make sure that we're organizing all of these ideas in some way. And I like to use a 2x2 matrix. I'll go over that in the worksheet. By the way, if you want to copy the worksheet, type the word solution below. If you're on my website, just click on the link, the download link below. So yeah, so again, so organizing all of the ideas objectively using a tool, and I'll show you our tool. We use a 2x2 matrix, but we organize our ideas based on ease of implementation versus impact. And I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. And then the third thing is that with that 2x2 matrix, and we're talking about ease versus impact, it's really, really important that we anchor our quadrants. So, and I'll show you what this looks like in a second, but when you start putting ideas into a 2x2 matrix as an example, right, in the tool that we're going to be showing you in a second, it's very easy to allow your opinions or the team's opinions to drive where the solutions should go. But one way to minimize that, to minimize the kind of the opinions, right, in the room is to anchor the quadrants. And I'll show you what this looks like in 1 second. So, so again, let me show you the worksheets real quick. It's super simple. If you want to copy, just type the word solution below. I'm happy to get you a copy. Or if you're on the website watching this, you can go ahead and click the download link button below. So let me go ahead and show you what these worksheets look like here. All right, cool. So it should be popping up here now. So we call this tool the solution sorting tool because that's what it does, right? It's sorting out all of those great ideas as you're conducting your problem solving. So we've done some other videos around structured problem solving. You can watch those at another time. But this is when we get to the phase of all of those great ideas that the team has brainstormed to solve a particular problem. How do we decide which ones to work on and in what order, right? And this is a tool that we use to help us decide that. So just real quick, it's a really simple tool. As I mentioned, it's literally one page here. The idea with this tool is that you would actually conduct this, imagine you and your team in a maybe a conference room, some sort of space where you have a dry erase board. The whole team is in that room working together. By this point, you would have come up with tons of ideas. This is where on the right side of this template here, we have the stack of ideas. Maybe they're on little sticky notes, right? Little 2x2, maybe 3x3 sticky notes. People kind of jot down their ideas, their solutions to solving the original problem. So you can put that little stack of ideas there. And then again, this is a 2x2 matrix, very, very useful, popular way of organizing ideas. And we have it organized in ease of capture on the bottom axis here. So let me go ahead and I'll use a different color just for fun. Let's see here, I'll use purple. So ease of capture on the bottom here, right? Versus impact on the problem. And we have low to high on the vertical axis, right? From the bottom left to the upper left. And then ease of capture is difficult to easy. So it's more easy the farther right that we go. So as you can see here, right, anything that falls in the upper right-hand quadrant here, right, these are what we call the gold mines. They're easiest to do. They have the highest impact to solving the problem that we've been trying to solve. In the next sort of categories here, right, we would call worthy battles. So I put these in yellow because we probably want to work on these, but we would work on these after we work on the gold mine ideas. Okay, so again, this is where impact, the idea, the solution has a high impact on solving the problem that we're trying to solve, right? But maybe it's a little bit more difficult to implement this particular solution. On the bottom right, we would call these quick wins. So these may not have as high impact on the original problem itself. However, they're potentially easy to implement. So, we would probably work on those. And then last but not least, this lower left one here, we call these the waste of time. We're not going to work on these, right? That's the idea. So really hard, difficult to implement, and they have a low impact on solving the problem, all right? Now, let's talk real quick about these anchors. So I mentioned anchors, right? So you can see if you have a stack of ideas and you start going through the sorting process, it's very easy to allow the team's opinions to be injected into the sorting exercise, right? Because it's very easy to say, oh, well, that idea is really easy to implement. We should put that in the gold mine bucket, right? So in order to minimize the opinions in the room when you're sorting these ideas, you need to put in these anchors. So what do these anchors mean? So specifically, what we want to do is right here in the middle. So hopefully you can see this on the screen here. So right here in the middle, and then right here in the middle on the vertical axis, we want to define what that middle point means. So for example, and it's always going to be based on two things. It's going to be based on the bottom here. It's going to be based on how much time, right, or effort. And specifically, you want to put in a number, right? So define what easy is, right? What is that middle of the road definition for easy versus difficult? It could be, 10 hours, for example, might be the anchor. So anything to the right of the anchor is going to be 10 hours or less, right, to implement the idea. And to the right, it could be 10 hours or more, right? So again, this is going to be a way for the team to objectively make a decision on where the idea goes in one of these quadrants, okay? The other key factor here is going to be cost, right? How much money is it going to require to implement a particular idea? So again, in the anchor could be $1,000, right? So anything from the center to the right is $1,000 or less, okay? And then anything from the anchor to the left could be $1,000 or more. You can even put, you know, on the high end, right, what you want your limits to be. But that's why the anchor is so important. Now, on the vertical axis, right? So very similar way of looking at this, but when it comes to impact of the problem, if you're following structured problem solving way back in the, you know, kind of the first part of the process we teach would be step number one, right? You're going to have a well-defined problem and goal statement. And in that problem and goal statement, you're going to have an objective measurable component, right? Whatever the problem is that you're dealing with, there's going to be a measurable component of that. This is where you would put, you would apply that measurable component on the impact of the problem, okay? It could be anything. So it could be if you're trying to solve a problem around more capacity on a particular production line, define what that capacity is, right, based on your original problem. So anchor your ideas here, right, and say, well, if we implement solution number 5, are we going to get, you know, 20% more capacity or less than 20%, right? I'm using a number 20% hypothetically. So that anchor for the vertical axis is directly related to the problem that you're trying to solve. So hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, so this is the tool, super easy. But you know, again, if you want a copy of this, go ahead and type the word solution in the comments below. And then also, if you're on the website, you can just click on the download button link below. So go ahead and stop sharing here real quick. So hopefully that's useful for you. And if any of this is making sense, maybe some of it resonates with you, or maybe there's someone on your team that this might be helpful for, please, again, go ahead and type the word solution below. I'll get you a copy of the worksheet. You have the video here you can watch as well. You can also reach out to me directly. Someone, either myself or someone on my team, we can help you with the problems that you're trying to solve in your operation. So yeah, so again, hopefully this is helpful. Sorting solutions is a big part of the process of trying to solve problems, and hopefully this tool is going to be super helpful for you and your team. So again, use the tool, watch the video, and you know, good luck sorting your ideas and crushing your problems in your operation. So until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.